Tonight, for the first time in 6 years, new but temporary leadership is in charge of the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. There are several new developments tonight and the problems plaguing the office and its former leader, Kim Gardner. Less than 24 hours after her abrupt departure, Gardner's name was removed from the walls outside the Circuit Attorney's office. That happened just moments after Governor Mike Parson and members of the Attorney General's office met with what remains of Gardner's staff. Also today, Attorney General Andrew Bailey dropped his legal battle to remove Gardner from office, and a judge dismissed indirect contempt charges against Gardner and a former assistant prosecutor for not showing up to a jury trial and a subsequent hearing. All of this has implications on the future of the office and what's next for Gardner.
Our Laura Barczewski is looking into that, and she joins us live outside the Carnahan Courthouse. Laura.
Mike and Ann, because all of those legal battles that Kim Gardner was fighting have been dropped or dismissed, it's possible she could technically run again in 2024. But our political analyst says it would be unlikely she'd be successful if she did.
It's been a tumultuous 48 hours for the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. In that time, Kim Gardner resigned and is no longer facing any legal battles.
And now, because she's resigned, the quo warranto seems to be moot. And so really, there would be nothing legally that I see that would prevent her from running for office again.
There's also a new interim circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis, Evan Rodriguez, and alongside him, the Attorney General's staff, including Judge Bill Corrigan. But a permanent choice has not been made. All while an election for that seat is a little more than a year away. 5 on Your Side political analyst Anita Mannion says the drama could change how voters choose someone for the job.
If someone else steps in and the office starts functioning well for a year, I think a Kim Gardner run would really look bad, because it would signal to the citizens of St. Louis that this office can run well under the right leadership.
While Gardner's team was facing down judges trying to hold her in contempt of court and taking on the Attorney General's office, she spoke to her supporters and told them she would be running again in 2024. But since her abrupt resignation, she's been silent on the campaign front.
She has continued to have kind of her foundation of grassroots support, people still speaking out on her behalf today. But to run a successful campaign, you also need infrastructure, you need financing, and I'm not sure that she would have those things in place in 2024.
Mayor Tashard Jones says she wishes Gardner well in her future endeavors and gave no indication she would support her if she did try to take on the office again.
We've met with the governor, we've met with all of the, we've met with the judges and other people who are involved in the criminal justice system to offer our support to make sure that the transition is smooth as possible and that we can restore the reputation of the Circuit Attorney's Office.
Defense attorney David Miller and former Alderman Mike Gross have both expressed interest in running for St. Louis Circuit Attorney in 2024. They've also thrown their hat in the ring for the governor's appointment. We could find out about that appointment by Friday. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Just before abruptly resigning, Gardner tried to turn things over to St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell. 5 on Your Side obtained the order Gardner gave to a judge yesterday, hoping to appoint Bell as the transition manager. She even issued a memo to her staff saying she had worked with Bell on the transition plan, but the judge never signed the order. Bell says Mayor Tashard Jones asked him to help out.
Just to help stabilize the office first and foremost, so that whomever was to come in could get just a little bit of a better handoff.
Bell says he's one of several prosecutors from surrounding jurisdictions who talked with the governor's transition team today about helping.